You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. This week, the stars don't want promises, they want proof. Welcome to your star forecast for the week of Monday, the 26th of May. I'm your host and astrologer, Kristy Gray. And this week on According to My Astrologer, it's time to get serious about your next chapter. Now, I'm not talking serious in the dull, boring way. Serious in the liberating way. The way where you start showing up for the life you actually want and stop waiting for the perfect mood, timing, or green light. This week, the skies are packed. The energy is electric. And if you want change, you've got to be the change. Let's talk about why. So we kick off this week with a massive energetic shift. Saturn is now officially in Aries. Now, this will not be a permanent transit because Saturn will move back into the constellation of Pisces in September. But this will mark the beginning of a new cycle with this planet. With both Saturn and Neptune now in Aries, the fog of the last few weeks may finally begin to lift. But clarity doesn't always mean ease. And with this transit, it will actually mean responsibility. This isn't about tweaking surface level habits. This is about radical self-honesty. So ask yourself, what do I truly want? What am I no longer available for? And what am I willing to commit to, even if no one's clapping yet? Because here's the deal. Saturn in Aries doesn't care about our Pinterest vision boards. It wants bold, consistent, and courageous action. So imagine one small aligned action every single day until 2026 is 220 steps towards your next era. That's the power of momentum. And I'm not just preaching this to you because I'm definitely in it too. Last week, I started over on my book. I have archived everything I've previously written, and that was tough. But I sat down and I began again. Over the course of 2 days, I wrote 4,000 words. And guess what the hardest part was? It was actually opening the document to begin. It felt like climbing Mount Everest up until that point. But once I committed, the words poured out of me. And my new goal is 60,000 words by November this year. Which when I break that down, that's only 300 words per day. That's it. That's the compounding effect. And now I'm stacking habits, building traction, and backing myself every step of the way. So whatever you're working on right now, ask yourself this. What small step could I take every day, starting today? Don't focus on the perfect step. Focus on the real one. Let's now take a look at the transits we'll experience throughout the course of the week and how the Saturn and Aries undercurrent will influence them. On Monday, Mercury will enter Gemini, and when it does, it's going to sextile Saturn. Now, Mercury is at home in Gemini because it governs over this constellation. So when it's in this sign, it's sharp, it's curious, and it's very fast-moving energy. So as the week begins, it's the perfect time to brainstorm, pitch ideas, and connect the dots between vision and logistics. Because with Saturn supporting this process, this isn't just ideation. It's about execution. So keep an eye out for the low vibrational Gemini energy, which is scattered, inconsistent, and performative. And take note of the high vibrational Gemini energy, which is articulate, curious, mentally agile, and intentional. And this week, I invite you to work towards the high vibrational expression by choosing one thing to focus on and following it through. Then on Tuesday, we have a Gemini New Moon at 1:02 p.m. Australian Standard Time. And just before this lunation occurs, Mercury will sextile Neptune, bringing inspiration and softness into the mix. Now, like many of the lunar cycles we've had lately, they've been incredibly powerful, and this one's no different. What I find really interesting about this particular new moon is we'll have 5 celestial bodies in air signs and 5 celestial bodies in fire signs. So this says to me it's going to be a yang energy overload in the sky. So think movement, speed, drive, vision, and fire. But remember, fire and air without direction, they burn out incredibly fast. So this new moon is asking, what idea am I ready to own? What belief needs to be rewritten? And how do I want to express myself next? This is an ideal moment to plant seeds related to communication, writing, creative expression, and mental mastery. Then by Wednesday, Mercury is showing up again. It's definitely making its presence known in our horoscope of the week, because Mercury in Gemini will trine Pluto in Aquarius. And this is a depth transit. What conversation are you ready to have? What truth are you ready to share? Because this is the kind of day where journaling can crack something wide open within you, or where your message lands deeply when connecting with someone else, or where you stop hiding the real story and start letting it lead. Because by Friday, we actually have a Mercury cazimi, which is when the Sun will conjunct Mercury, and this will be both happening in the constellation of Gemini. And this is your download moment, because this Mercury cazimi is like plugging your brain directly into the source. It's clarity, it's insight, it's that like one thought that changes everything. So please, if there's one thing you remember from today's episode, it's this. Clear your schedule on Friday, even if it's for only 15 minutes. Let that idea land, because it will be a gift. So our theme for this week is you are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Let this be the week where your habits catch up to your vision, where your actions start telling the story you've been dreaming about. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. So our astro strategy tip for this week is to choose one focus for the next 7 days. Break it into small daily steps and bonus points if it's less than 20 minutes a day. Track it, own it, and of course, when you achieve it at the end of the week, celebrate it. The goal isn't about speed. It's actually about traction. So our mantra of the week is, I'm not waiting for the right energy. I'm becoming the one who creates it. Thank you for tuning in to According to My Astrologer for your weekly dose of cosmic wisdom. This week, please be bold, be brave, take that next step, even if it's a small one. Your momentum is building, and I want you to know the stars are backing you every step of the way. Until next time, keep exploring the stars within and without.